So the Pittsburgh Steelers,
Mm.
and we love the Steelers on this show. They are
Mm-hmm.
still evaluating potential quarterback acquisitions. Once starting option is already on the roster. Mike Tomlin is comfortable with the idea of Mason Rudolph as a starting quarterback, the head coach said Monday morning at the annual league meetings. That's why we brought him back, Tomlin said. I'm comfortable with that. We've been there before. He's a very capable guy. Is Tomlin, Pittsburgh, making a mistake with this move?
Yeah,
Spike.
I will
whoever
say
wants
that.
to go.
No, I will say before Spike go, there are videos of Rodgers throwing a DK Metcalf and shit like that. Rodgers hasn't officially. I don't think there's been any breaking news that he's joined the Steelers roster or anything, but it seemed like he's there. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know why he's not signed or anything, but he's there. If that gives you any other insight, that maybe Mason, be is not going to be the starter. But this is what Tomlin said. This is out the horse's mouth.
Yeah, you can't go into the season with Mason Rudolph as your starting quarterback and be a competent franchise like the Steelers. I think that Aaron Rodgers, DK Metcalf, and what's the crash out name? The other receiver, the crash out?
George Pickens.
Yeah, Pickens. I feel pretty good about that if I'm a Pittsburgh fan. That's better offense than we've had in the last 7 years down there. So even though I didn't think Rodgers would do well in New York, and he didn't because of the structure that they have there, I do think that he would be able to semi-strive in Pittsburgh. Mike Tomlin has a culture there as to where Aaron Rodgers wouldn't get too out of control, and we can win some football games and possibly even surprise some people, especially with the two weapons that I have. The Steelers haven't had a wide receiver combo like this since Antonio Brown was there. And we know how long ago that's been. So if I can get DK Metcalf on the same page with Aaron Rodgers, I feel good about going into the season. I don't think this isn't bad like the Jets thinking, oh, Aaron Rodgers is going to come save our franchise. This is more so the Steelers being like, hey, we're a good organization. All that dark retreat bullshit, ayahuasca bullshit that you do, leave it at the front door. Like Mike Tomlin gonna make sure that everything is taken care of in the sense of culture. All you got to come in here is play football as a 40-year-old quarterback. We want you to do too much because we have a solid running game. I'm not sure about the offensive coordinator, but that's what Aaron Rodgers comes in and do. He can give perspective to a subpar offensive coordinator like the Steelers got, and they can get a better performance out of that offense. So I think this is a great move. This is something where the Steelers, you look up, and this is what we've been looking for the last 10 years since Ben was good.
It's a move that I kind of look at it twofold. One way I look at it is it's a good move for the Steelers because the Steelers are known as a run-heavy team. Unlike the Jets, who put the ball in Aaron Rodgers' hands and kind of made him be the hero and try to make him captain save a team, they ignored Brees. So they took the ball out of his hands. Pittsburgh is not going to ignore the run. They're going to run first, which will free up some of the pressure that's on Rodgers to have to do so much. They did sign Keenan Gainwell to replace Najee Harris. I think
but the bullshit that y'all are saying right now.
No, what I'm saying is, yeah, they did. What I'm saying is, I think they're going to add more to that running back room.
Are they?
I think they will. I'm pretty sure they will. But I still think, regardless, we know Pittsburgh is a run-first team. Then you got Warren, too, back there. So you got a run-first team. They're going to run the ball. Warren is a decent back.
Jaron Warren.
They like. Who is he?
Jaron Warren is the guy. Remember Dallas had a running back they thought was good because he would come in and break a play? Who was that, Spike?
Luno.
Because y'all wanted him to be a starter, and he was terrible.
Tony Pollard.
Yes. That's all Warren is, bro. Another fucking Pollard.
Right. So
Tony Pollard actually did well with the Titans when he left, by the way.
I think the
Titans.
Yeah. I think they'll bring in another back, is what I'm saying. But there'll still be a run-first team, which will relieve some stress. Now, the other part to this, is I saw Mike Tomlin sweating like a dude that let his wife borrow his phone for a
It
second.
was crazy.
So I
What was
don't
going
believe.
on right there?
Man, I don't know. So I don't think he's too confident in what he was talking about.
Hey, Sheldon, when that seat hot. my thing is this, Lou. The amount of bullshit you just said is egregious coming from you, especially you talking so glowingly about Aaron Rodgers when months ago you was shitting on him.
He was killing Aaron Rodgers.
And then Sheldon, you talking about some their run first team. What has that gotten them? They have a terrible offensive line. They have a terrible offensive coordinator, because then they get the same coordinator, or he was the head coach for the Falcons and now he's the offensive coordinator for the Steelers. It's like Mike Tomlin doesn't know how to pick offensive coordinators, clearly, because like you said, Lou, the offense ain't look good since Big Ben. And I find it interesting.
You should always start your takes with "I hate the Steelers."
Start with that.
Start with that first.
Listen, I always regardless of how I feel, I always keep it a bean. My thing is, we've seen this time in, time out. We are literally talking about the definition of insanity. Ken, what are they all? One of the famous football lines outside of defense win championships and there's no iron team is, if you got two quarterbacks, what you got?
You got none.
They've been doing that for the last 3-4 years, where they got two quarterbacks and they just say, we just go
longer than that.
They just throwing out niggas out there like it's fucking like it's one of them halftime shows where they be like, you could shoot the ball and you can get $10,000 or $100,000 if you make this half court shot. It's like they're just picking anybody out the stands, literally. Like they switched their full quarterback rooms 3 times in the last 3 years. I don't think any NFL team has done that. And then now you're talking about Aaron Rodgers, who is literally at the worst part of his career with a horrible offensive coordinator. We've seen that already 2 seasons with the Jets when he is with a horrible offensive coordinator. So what do you think that is going to be different now? Now, of course, you're saying the Mike Tomlin standard of not being a losing team, but is that the standard for the Steelers? There's every franchise has different standards. We all know that. I'm not, and this is not me picking on Tomlin and the Steelers, even though I do have my bias against them. But every franchise has their standard. If the Panthers go 9-8 or 10-7, they celebrating that like the Super Bowl.
Sheldon back on the bandwagon.
When the Steelers do that, that's not good enough. If the Titans go this upcoming season, regardless of who they draft, they win 9 games. That's a phenomenal season for the Steelers. That's not good enough. This is what they tell me. This is what the fans tell me. So when I'm looking at this season, like nothing has changed, and the best part of the team is getting older.
Wait, real quick before you go, people, is Aaron Rodgers better than Russell Wilson?
Yes, but like by 0.25, like barely.
Here's the thing. Expectations, fans hold on to shit that they shouldn't hold on to, and they have to accept the reality of where they are. They know they don't have a quarterback. They know they haven't had a quarterback since Big Ben retired and when Big Ben got old. So they holding on to the glory years. We see that happen all the time. Shit, you still holding on to that Super Bowl appearance, Nick. You ain't Nick, we're gonna be 20 years from now, and Nick will still be talking about this shit. The fact of the matter is, man, they just haven't had the roster, they haven't had the pieces, they haven't been good enough to get the job done. And it is what it is. My thing is this: Kenneth Gainwell ain't shit. So I don't know why his name was even brought up like it meant something. What they're doing post Big Ben has been what they've been.
What is that? What are you saying, Ken?
What I'm saying is that I just said it. They've been mid to average. That's it.
Your answer is it is what it is.
And to get to the point, are they making a mistake with Rodgers? Abso-fucking-lutely. Because it won't put them over the top. It won't more than likely get them to winning a playoff game. And in all honesty, Mason Rudolph and Aaron Rodgers damn near the same quarterback.
No, they're not. I'm gonna stop you right there, Ken. I'm gonna stop you right there. And here's the thing, Ken. I don't disagree.
I bet you we get the same results.
I don't disagree that Aaron Rodgers is obviously at the tail end of his career. And he's only slightly marginally better. I don't even know if marginally is the correct word, but he's barely better than Russell Wilson. He is definitely better than Mason Rudolph. I don't know what the hell you talking about. That's number one.
know,
Number
bro.
two is this:
Nasty.
is that with Aaron Rodgers, they are definitely closer to a playoff win than a playoff loss, because you are definitely closer to that loss with Mason. You're closer to not making the playoffs. You're closer to having a losing season with Mason Rudolph than you are Aaron Rodgers. Now, I'm not saying that he's the savior, but at the end of the day, I do think that, you know, and we talked about bridge quarterbacks the last show. Aaron Rodgers is not necessarily a bridge quarterback because you don't have the young quarterback waiting to take
They might draft him. They might draft him.
If you're not drafting Shador or Cam Ward, you don't have that guy, unfortunately. And I know that they've been saying no, and I know that they've been saying that they're tying Jalen Milroe to the Steelers. I do like that from a potential perspective, but I don't think he's going to do nothing in the league. We see what AR is doing over there in Indianapolis. I think it'll be the same thing. Big, strong black guy with a huge arm and is inaccurate and can't read defense. I'm just saying. It is what it is. Why did AR get drafted? Why did a project get drafted in the top 10? Because he has all of the intangibles and he has potential, but he can't put it together. And he had less than 300 snaps in college. You know what I'm saying? Look, at the end of the day, it's this. Are the Steelers making a mistake for waiting for Rodgers? The answer is no, because they don't have a better scenario at quarterback for them. Now, here's the thing. I can't absolve them because they're the ones that created this scenario. They're the ones that haven't drafted a quarterback. If it had to be every single year since Ben Roethlisberger, then it had to be every single year till you get the guy. And they haven't done that. They hadn't done enough. Kenny Pickett, everybody here knew that he wasn't going to be the guy, and he lasted barely a season. So come on. Like, this is on the Steelers, but this is their best option to get Aaron Rodgers.
Why nobody talking about the elephant in the room, bro?
What's that, Jay?
And I don't use this word, but I gotta use it for this situation. Aaron Rodgers is a bitch. Like straight up. Like, why the fuck make a damn decision, nigga? You be in a hole because you trying to find out if they're gonna be able to draft somebody or not. It don't fucking matter, nigga. You ain't gonna be there when that person needs to develop. Just make your decision on whether you go in there or not. You scared. He's scared. That's basically what it is. And honestly, the Steelers are fucked up because they waiting for this nigga. They need to be there too and be like, fuck that shit. You gonna be with us or you're not. Like, y'all waiting on him, and he's a bitch. And that's the moral story. And that's all I really got to say. Yeah. I'll be back for FIFO's power rankings because I got a problem with the shit he sent me. So
Aaron Rodgers is doing the same shit that Brett Favre did.
Well, Aaron Rodgers,
and Brett Favre did. He doing the same bullshit.
Yeah, he likes to control. He likes to control, and that's what it seems like. Plus the fact that he's doing it his way. So to speak. And
Cam Hayward said it best. They asked Cam Hayward about it, playing for the Steelers defensive tackle. He was like, bro,
exactly.
We the fucking Steelers, bro. Like, I ain't pitching you.
What does that mean? What does that mean? What is Cam?
What do you mean? What does that mean?
Listen.
We ain't the Bengals. We ain't the Buccaneers. We ain't none of the Panthers, nigga. It's the fucking Steelers. We got 4 rings.
I was
gonna say this. Lou, you damn sure right. You ain't the Bengals or the Buccaneers because y'all ain't won a playoff game. Damn near.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you what that means. Let me tell you what that means. We have 5 Super Bowl rings, and we can do what we want to do. We ain't gotta wait on you, but we acting like we do. If them the Bengals and we don't spend no money and we cheap, then yeah, I gotta wait on somebody like Aaron Rodgers. The Steelers are the Steelers. The elite franchises are the elite franchises. I ain't gotta pitch Aaron Rodgers on coming to play for me, bro. Like, you ain't gotta wait to see who I draft, man. Make your decision, get in camp, and let's do what the fuck we do. Why are we catering to you?
I don't think it's all just about that, because the Vikings GM said that, you know, they still flirting with Aaron Rodgers too, and we already discussed that in this chat, that if you had to pick between the Vikings and the Steelers right now, you're picking the Vikings.
But so if I'm the Vikings, That's a great point. The coach for the Vikings has came out and spoke to that. He was like, no, I would rather work with my rookie quarterback and get him developed versus having Aaron Rodgers for a couple of years. That don't make sense to him. Every quarterback that he's had, he's been successful with. Like, I just made Sam Darnold an MVP candidate last year. I don't need Aaron Rodgers. I can get McCarthy. We drafted him in the first round. I can get him where he need to be. I don't. There's no reason
just like what Q says in the chat all the time. These head coaches don't have as much power as we say they do. Because as much as we talk about Mike,
the Vikings not going to sign. The Vikings not going to sign Aaron Rodgers.
If the Vikings was really all in on JJ would have been known as the starter by now, and we wouldn't be having this discussion.
That's why they didn't sign him.
We wouldn't be having this discussion. If Mike Tomlin
having this discussion, the Vikings not. The Vikings know who their quarterback is.
If Mike Tomlin had his way, like he said, Mason Rudolph would be the starter. However, we're seeing videos come out of Aaron Rodgers throwing a DK, and they buddy like a damn buddy cop movie. So it's just like there's something going on where it's like somebody is lying and they don't know what the fuck they talking about.
And either way, I think the results will still be the same. Aaron Rodgers made it to Rudolph. I still think I don't think it's going to change